live from South Africa.
The time is just gone 9:35 a.m. as we continue with this morning's broadcast. And as promised earlier, we have got now a live crossing, and this is over to Kabul in Afghanistan. Africa Muslims Agency is with a group of volunteers in Afghanistan at this point in time. And when we talk about Afghanistan, one of the poorest countries in the world, with a whole host of problems, from health to child mortality to water problems, child labor, education, you name it. And Afghanistan has basically withstood this poverty for a very, very long time, considering the fact that this is a country that has been ravaged by occupation, by invasions. Over the years, the British were there, the Russians have been there, and then we know of the coalition and what had taken place after 9/11. And we have been talking with Africa Muslim Agency in the past. They have been on the ground. But right now, we are talking with Yasmin Lunat, and she is part of this ladies' delegation that has gone to Afghanistan. Sister Yasmin, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Jummah Mubarak to you.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Maaf, it's not Sister Yasmin, it's Sister Sumaya Umar. I'm also part of the delegation.
Jazakallah for that.
Mubarak to you too.
Yes, Jazakallah. Now, obviously, you are part of a ladies' delegation, Sister Sumaya. Now, often we've been talking to the men who have gone to Afghanistan. And, sometimes it's important for us to get it from a woman's perspective. And I think women tend to look at things very, very differently compared to men, because this is the nature of women, in terms of empathy, in terms of being emotional as well. And sometimes we men are very, very hardened in terms of what we see around us, how we view things and how we perceive things. But looking at yourself as part of the AMA volunteer team, this ladies delegation. Firstly, let's talk about your purpose of being there in Kabul this morning, and also the purpose of the ladies delegation in Afghanistan.
Thank you for that. Well, I think we must say that we are very excited to be in Kabul. It's absolutely, we're here for a few hours, and it's so nice to be with the people of Kabul. Obviously, the situation is not what as we would like it to be. Afghanistan has been in a war for over 40 years, etc. But however, we are here to do the work. I think what's important with the ladies delegation is that we're on the ground, we're here to serve the people, and we've realized that when we're in the field, we have to go with an open mind and a selfless heart. And the ladies, we don't have any expectations. We're actually getting ready. We're shortly going to be leaving for the mountains of Kabul, where we're going to be climbing up and going to meet the different families and assessing the situation on the ground. Obviously, with the current issues that they are struggling with, water, sanitation, and we're obviously going to be meeting the different families and hearing the struggles and experiences that they are going through. I think it's a great privilege to be part of a delegation where we are given the opportunity to travel under the Africa Muslim Agency banner and come to Afghanistan and meet. And what was really inspiring for us is that we met a group of women who are here, part of the organization Save the Future. And it's so inspiring to see that women alike have put all their differences aside and are working on one common goal, and that is to uplift the people of Afghanistan, uplift the children of Afghanistan, uplift their situation. Because the campaigns that we are running currently, apart from the borehole project where they desperately need clean water and sanitation, is more than a meal campaign. And more than a meal campaign is not only about providing food. We provide meals so that the children in particular, the people that can have lives, they can not worry about walking down a mountain or struggling to find a piece of bread. They'll be able to live decently. They'll be able to for example, children, they'll be able to concentrate on being a child, concentrate on just kicking a ball around. We had, when we left the airport, we first went to the office where we had a debriefing. And when you drive into Kabul, the situation is unreal. I cannot explain. It's hard for us to understand the situation because we've never lived lived in war. We've never experienced such things. I mean, the way they live, the security, the military, it's the suspense. And even the people, you only see children around you and they're digging in the bins. There's always sadness in the people's eyes. Even when we got off the airport, the people have a story to tell. There's a narrative that I think us ladies need to share with the world. And I think it's an important narrative that we are going to be highlighting in the next few days, the narrative of the people of Afghanistan, because they are almost like a forgotten nation, and we are here to share their experience, and we are so excited that we've got this opportunity. Thank Allah, thank everybody who have put their efforts. We appreciate it, and we look forward to sharing everything.
Well, we're
with you
certainly
guys.
looking forward to that as well. And I believe that you have got a team with you. You've got Yasmin Lunat, yourself as well, Fatima Sidat, and also Catherine Constantinidis, who are all part of this ladies' delegation to Afghanistan, Sister Sumaya. And I'm not too sure whether any of the other members of the delegation are close to you, so that, I can actually get their perspective as well.
Yeah, sure. I'm going to hand over the phone to Fatima Sira. She'll just give her lights. Unfortunately, Yasmin Lunat as well as Catherine is not available, but you can just discuss with Fatima and I, and we can obviously share our experience. Hold on, please.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, Sister Fatima. Jazakallah khairan so much for joining us this morning. Jummah Mubarak to you out of Kabul in Afghanistan. And obviously, Sumaya had given us an overview on the purpose of the ladies' delegation to Afghanistan. And the key issue here is looking at the current situation, looking at what the need is going to be on the ground. And I'm sure you are looking forward to this. You've obviously looked forward to this trip for a very, very long time. But now that you are there, reality has hit, and obviously witnessing firsthand as to what the effect of this war has been, and how this has actually affected the people of Afghanistan.
Yes, Alhamdulillah. So Yasmin Lunat and I were on a delegation to Lebanon about 18 months ago. And when we came back, Yasmin said we have to go to Afghanistan. Obviously, after Imran Chinara had been, and we then made plans, and then COVID happened and lockdown. But Alhamdulillah, we're here, and it had been stressful. The families were worried. People were worried about our safety. I can tell you the team on the ground here is amazing. And where there's a humanitarian need, we just keep moving and in the path of Allah, and we make dua that Allah protects us and guides us. So I want to just highlight to you, Africa Muslims Agency, it's the campaign that we're running is more than a meal in 14 different countries around the world. And as we approach Ramadan, there are people who are starving. Example, Afghanistan. They were asked when the men's delegation was here, and they were asked, are you looking forward to Ramadan? And the answer was that we are hungry all the time, and not even here for 4 hours. And as we drove, we saw children digging in the bin looking for food. It's absolutely heartbreaking to think, how are they going to have sehri? How are they going to have their iftar?
Well, certainly. In fact, I think, this is a major problem at this point in time, looking ahead at the month of Ramadan. And often, we talk about fasting during the month of Ramadan. And from what it sounds, what you're saying, Sister Fatima, these people are actually fasting throughout the year.
Yes, definitely. Africa Muslims Agencies has links. We run different campaigns, so you can sponsor a borehole, you can sponsor towards a borehole, you can sponsor a village, like example 15,000 rand for a village or a camp per day. And you don't have to do this alone. We do it collectively. So if a person would like to donate 25 rands or 15,000 rands, I'm just giving you the different situations. They can contact us on africamuslimsagency.co.za, and or they can DM Africa Muslims Agencies for links which we create in their names, and they everybody can be a part of this in benefiting humanity and benefiting the Ummah of Nabi sallallahu alayhi wasallam, as well as others. There's other, the thing about Africa Muslims Agency is that it does not only benefit Muslims, we benefit humanity, alhamdulillah. I just want to narrate one story to you. Yasmin Musaji is on our team, and when we got here, we were welcomed by orphans. And one of the orphans, Yasmin asked her name is Medina, and Yasmin asked her, "What is your dream?" And she said, "Food."
Wow, that actually says so much. It actually speaks volume. Sister Fatima and Sumaya, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put you on hold. We're going to go for an ad break, and when we come back, I just want to, obviously, there's a few more issues that obviously I'd like to raise in terms of the visit, and also looking at some of your observations, and also in terms of your program. What is your program schedule going to be like over the next few days while you are in Afghanistan?
Okay.
The broadcast of the Adhan is brought to you by the Africa Muslims Agency. Whosoever builds a masjid for the pleasure of Allah, Allah builds for him a house in paradise. Sponsor a masjid as a means of Sadaqah Jariyah in Mozambique at 180,000 rands. Africa Muslims Agency.co.za.
Looking to get your kick? Kiki's have now reopened on 235 Matthews Maiwa Road in Durban. Head on over for the Taste with Kick. We offer something scrumptious for everyone in the family. Wraps, chicken tikka, burgers, tender grills, mocktails, milkshakes, and so much more. Corporate and events catering available. Visit our social media pages for more info or call 031 209 0119. Kiki's, the Taste with Kick.
Enduran Boys College is an independent boarding and day school situated on the N1 highway in Polokwane. We encourage intellectual and emotional development through a holistic learning environment. We follow the NCS CAPS curriculum and house boys from grade 6 to 12. We have boarding facilities also available from grade 6 to 12. Enduran Colleges aspires towards being a premier institution of learning by offering quality and value-based education that aims to serve humanity. Enduran College is safe haven and a home away from home. It's registered with the Department of Education and Umalusi accredited. For more information, contact us on 078 452 6264. Or follow us on Facebook or Instagram, or email us on polokwane@endurancolleges.co.za.
Shimmer, sparkle, captivate. Nothing less than a masterpiece. Droplets of gold inspires precious design. Platinum bursts with intricate freshness, and every pure diamond becomes more than just a girl's best friend. Voda Gold Gem Jewelers, where timeless dreams become a reality. Come to us. We tailor-make designer gold, platinum, and diamond jewelry. Trade in or remodel your old gold. Clad yourself with classy name-branded watches. We offer insurance valuation and free zakat calculation. Visit us at 534 Ridge Road, Overport, or call 031 208 9142. Voda Gold Gem Jewelers, manufacturers of fine gold and diamond jewelry.
Africa. Did you know a sponsored water well and borehole allows children to go back to school, empowers communities, and is a means of Sadaqah Jariyah? There are many villages in Africa and Afghanistan that are in need of water wells and boreholes. Sponsor a water well in Africa at 14,500 rands, or a borehole in Africa and Afghanistan at 49,500 rands. Call Africa Muslims Agency on 011 834 8685 or donate at Africa Muslims Agency. Co.za. Africa Muslims Agency, inspiring the spirit of giving.
Connect and stay ahead with Salam Media. This is Salam Media, coming to you live from South Africa.
The time is just gone 10 minutes to 10 a.m. and we are talking with the AMA volunteer team, the ladies delegation that is in Afghanistan. Yasmin Lunat, Sumaya Umar, Fatima Sidat, and Catherine Constantinides are all in Afghanistan as part of the Africa Muslims Agency team, and they are live in Kabul at this point in time. Now, for one moment, I want you to think about your child. because when we're talking about Afghanistan, we're talking about child labor, where we've statistics actually show that close on to 20% of children are expected to work so that they can provide for themselves and their families. And these children offer all sorts of work, in fact, from street vendors, carrying water, collecting cardboard, polishing shoes, domestic servants, assistance in other ways. Now, these are all odd jobs that are done by Afghan children. And this is the reason why some say that a child plays an important economic role in the family structure, mainly because their parents are not earning anything, or possibly they even earn very, very little, which is hardly enough to feed the family. So this is where the family has become reliant on the economic contribution of the child, and this means that the child is basically left begging on the streets. This is a dire situation, and also at the same time, when one looks at things like child mortality, because that is also very, very high in Afghanistan. And this is the reality. This is the reality on the ground. This is the reality that the AMA team is experiencing right now as we speak. And we have got Sumaya Umar with us once again. Sister Sumaya, assalamu alaikum to you once again.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Mark, the reception in Kabul is not so good, so we might just cut off every now and then.
No, that's fine. It's not a problem. Now, obviously, you've just got to Afghanistan. You're only there for a few hours in Kabul, and you have earlier given us an overview on the purpose of your visit. Now, just, I know your program, you're going to be having a very, very tight schedule. You're going to have a very, I would say, a tedious program as well, because we know Afghanistan is not an easy country to get around in terms of traveling around. And these obviously are challenges. And also, we've got, I'm not too sure whether Yasmin and Catherine are back again, because earlier on we were told that they were not around. If you could just confirm that, because, I would have loved to speak to one of them. But Sumaya, just on your side, just looking at, has this been a culture shock for you, being in Afghanistan, particularly looking at the children?
I don't think it's been a culture shock, because as ladies, we've been prepared and we came in with an open mind. We were actually just wanting to meet the people and see what it's like. Over the next few days, we, like you mentioned, our program is a bit serious. We're going to be visiting orphans. We're going to be opening boreholes. We're going to be visiting, feeding different families, villages. And we're also going to be visiting the orphans and families that the South Africans and other people were sponsoring. And I think it's very important that we're going to touch bases with these families and orphans and, just see how they're doing and spend time with them, because it's important to review the work that AMA as well as other organizations are doing on the ground. And obviously, we're going to be visiting other things that AMA has been doing, such as the bakery project, and Fatma will talk about the other things. So in terms of the experiences, I think we going in now with an open mind. We're going to be meeting soon. Our transport is going to be picking us up at 1 o'clock. It's 12:30 here, and we're going to be visiting the mountains. I think as we experience, as we go on, we're going to be sharing our stories live on our Instagram. We're going to be posting a lot of pictures, doing a lot of videos, and I think only when we do experience it, we will then understand and get a better understanding of the situation on the ground. We'll be able to really see and know what is going on, as opposed to what the media posts about Afghanistan. And that's what we're looking forward to. And we also want to share to the world what is really going on, and share to the world the people who the real Afghans are and the real struggle. And, and that's what it is. It's just an open mind. We're here to do work for the people. We want to serve humanity. Just give me a moment. I think Catherine is coming in, and I think she wants to share a few words. Can you just check with her? Hold on. Okay, so Catherine's going to be joining us shortly in the next 2 minutes. Is there anything else?
Yes, Sumaya, we've got about 5 minutes or so, and I know, in fact, I'm going to be a bit pushy at this point in time, so if you would forgive me for that, but if we can try and get hold of Catherine as early as possible in the interest of time.
Okay, just one moment. Okay, sorry, ma'am. Catherine, okay, inshallah, the next interview we will get Catherine on with you guys. We'll schedule that. She's just not available at the moment.
No, that's fine.
Is
It's
there
not a
anything
problem.
else that
Yes,
you'd like to-
yeah. In fact, you know, obviously we've been talking a lot about the children, and one of the biggest problems and one of the biggest effects of war has been the women and children. And I suppose, you know, being part of the ladies' delegation, you are going to be focusing a lot on understanding the challenges that the women are faced with as well, because we find very often in a warlike situation, in a situation that Afghanistan has found itself in, that women are obviously left to carry a huge burden in Afghan society.
Women and children are always the victims of war and always the easy targets. And often their story is never told. And often children, for example, are never highlighted for what's really going on. The sad reality is that the bulk of the people that are suffering in Afghanistan are the women. I mean, earlier when Yasmin Yunus met one of the orphans that welcomed us at the airport, and she mentioned that her biggest dream is food, but her father had been killed in a bomb blast. And I think majority of these orphans and women with issues such as that. And it's important that we stand in solidarity as women, as part of our women's delegation with these women and children, and just continue to highlight the plight so that people understand what the real situation is, so that they can relate themselves to the stories and obviously donate and sponsor towards the continued going to Afghanistan.
Yes, now, Sister Sumaya, we've got about 2 minutes or so, and I'm not too sure whether you or Sister Fatima would like to come up and just tell us how can listeners get involved.
Okay, I'm going to give the phone to Fatima and then she'll just explain better.
Okay, so if the listeners go on to africamuslimagency.co.za, there are many links on our website where you can donate from as little as 25 rand. We can create links for different families, for different people. So if a person would like to donate an entire borehole, the cost is 49,500. That provides water for up to from 800 to 1,000 people. Water and sanitation is a major problem. We've been told that when we walk into the mountains, we must be prepared. There is no sanitation. So we've got to be prepared for that. And so as I said, Sadaqah Jariyah, one of the best gifts to give, one of the best sadaqahs is water. And it may sound big, 49,500, but if a family takes on a link, each person can donate 500 rand, 200 rand, whatever amount you can, and you can make it possible for people to have something that we take for granted, as simple as water.
Well, Jazakallah khairan so much for that, Sister Fatima, and also to you, Sister Sumaya, to both of you for coming on and talking with us this morning. And we wish you all the best on your trip, inshallah, and obviously looking forward to seeing, the progress that the team obviously makes, but more importantly, in terms of what you are experiencing. And I'm sure all of this information will be on the Africa Muslim Agency website and also on the social media pages like Instagram, etc. But for now, all the best to you on your trip and the rest of the team. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum salam. Shukran so much. As you said, the website, the Instagram, Yasmin Musaji, Fatima Sirat Chadati, Sumaya Umar. Follow one of us and you will be able to follow the rest, Captain as well. Inshallah.
Inshallah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. That was the ladies' delegation to Afghanistan reporting live out of Kabul this morning. They have just got there. They've been in Kabul for a few hours, and the next few days obviously going to be very, very hectic as they assess the situation. They look at the needs and, more importantly, address some of the problems that the people of Afghanistan are faced with, which brings us straight on to 10 a.m. And it's time for me to sign off for the end of this week. And I'm looking forward to Monday once again to be in your company in the various on the various platforms of Salam Media, on Al Ansar in Durban, Peter Maritzburg, One Nation, 88.9 FM, Have yourself a spiritually uplifting Jummah, inshallah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
It's the heart of a Muslim through the guidance of Islam that makes you fair and kind and helpful to your fellow man. So living as a Muslim means that you must play a part. Allah looks not at how you look, but what is in your heart. In a poor, meager state, little food on a plate, Mother said she was glad, always sharing what we had. When I asked how can we share what's not enough, she said the heart of a Muslim's filled with love. He said it's time you should know, you will learn as you grow, that some people around will do what's bad to bring you down. Father said to be a star that's shining bright, for the heart of a Muslim does what's right.